Hey guys, RPM here. Hope y'all doing well and having a really great day. In this video, I'm going to be placing my 12 A2000's, RTX A2000's. These are the 6GB models, and also these are all modded with the Shunt power mod, what have you, from jkgventures.tech. Thank you to them. They did the mod here a couple weeks ago, and you guys have probably seen me do a lot of videos of testing these cards recently in a riserless board, and we also did a video comparing a stock A2000 versus a modded A2000 6GB, and the results were pretty awesome. Now what I'm wanting to do in this video is to test out these 12 A2000s on a Octominer server case. Okay, so that is the biggest thing for me because I want to run them in a server case, not in an X8 Ultra, but in a X12 Ultra. And of course this video is sponsored by Octominer. Thank you so much. So I don't have an extra Octominer case, so I'm gonna have to take one out with 6 EVGA 3080s. You know what, let me just take off the cover. Okay, these are the EVGA 3080 non-LHRs. Been running awesome in this X12 Ultra. But yeah, so I want to take these out, and then we're gonna try with the 12 A2000s on here. Because one of the things that I'm worried about is the PCIe cables going into the riserless motherboard, as some of the Octominer cases, especially like the X8 Ultra, doesn't come with the PCIe going into the riserless board already. Though there are 4 PCIe 6 pins going on to this side here, but on this side there is none. But obviously with the A2000s, they don't require external PCIe for the power. So I will most likely be able to plug in into the PCIe here, the 6 pins, from the extra that we will have, right? If I were to use an X8, but I want to see if I can use an X12 Ultra. So let me go ahead, I'm gonna turn this off, I'm gonna shut it down in HiveOS, let it cool down, and then turn it off, and then take out the GPUs, and then we'll put them in the X12, and then we'll put the A2000s in this guy. So let's take these out right now. Alright, here is the Octominer, all bare, showing you guys the PCIe slots. Alright, so I want to talk about the power, as this is going to be the most important thing, and I'm going to have many disclaimers as I'm going to talk about this, and I have confirmed with Octominer a couple things. Alright, so first things first, these PCIe cables that I have going into the Octominer board right now, this is the extension board and this is the motherboard. There's 2 18 gauge, okay, 6-pin 18 gauge going from the, like, essentially the hot swappable breakout board going into here. Okay, and then the extension board, which has 10 PCIe slots, okay, and then the main board here has 2. These 10 have 4 PCIe 18 gauge, which can handle, these 18 gauge cables, I forgot to mention, these 18 gauge cables can handle 300 watts each. Okay, these are rated to handle 300 watts maximum, according to Octominer. Okay, and so I was also told that I should also plug in the last 6-pin PCIe cable here going into the extra slot that I have here. And you know what? I'm probably going to take out all of these PCIe cables because we will not be able to plug these into the A2000s. As I mentioned before, the A2000s do not have external power, okay? All the power is coming from the PCIe slot, which is rated for 75 watts, okay? Octominer has told me that the PCIe specification for each slot is 75 watts. So at our owner's discretion, for anyone that's going to be doing this, you're basically going to be voiding your warranty if you're going to be putting in GPUs that are going to be drawing more than the 75 watt specification. Alright, so for people that are going to be doing this, do this at your own risk. And so I am doing this at my own risk right now, potentially going to be burning up this Octominer, potentially. So, you know, as these A2000's that are modded, the Shunt mod, power mod, these will do over, I think we were able to do about 85 to 90 watts according to the PCIe meters that we were doing on that video. Alright, mining Flux, mining Ethereum, mining Ravencoin, we were getting about 80 to 90 watts at most through the A2000, alright, the modded A2000 here. So we're going to be drawing a little bit more than 75 watts, okay? So that extra, let's say, 15 watts is going to be being drawn from the PCIe slot here, from the PCIe, which is also being divided into two, okay? That's another thing that's also kind of iffy. Each 6-pin here is going to be powering two A2000's, alright? So what I mentioned before, that these 18 gauge cables, max rated for 300 watts according to Octominer, should theoretically be okay. Now another thing I thought of is I do have a parallel miner 16 gauge cable here, and you can actually visibly see the thickness level difference between this one and the Octominer 18 gauge cable. Alright, just so that you guys can see. You can probably see the difference there. 16 gauge versus the 18 gauge here. So what I'm probably going to do later is I will swap out all of these cables. I want to swap out these two and these four, and also I will add another one here. So 5, 7. I will add in another, I will swap these 7 cables for the parallel miner 16 gauge, because the parallel miner 16 gauge cables are rated, according to parallel miner, 400 watts. Okay, 400 watts according to their website. So then that would give me a little bit more, I guess, a safety bed, and just so that these cables won't burn up in case, you know, the A2000's will draw more than 90 watts potentially. So that's something I thought of. But I want to test out first putting the 12 A2000's in here with the current cables that are already here. So also let me just go ahead and plug in this cable here. Alright, so that's going to be powering these two slots for the two A2000's. Alright guys, let me go ahead and plug in all of the A2000's, and then we're going to turn it on, and obviously we'll see if we're going to have a good old smoke show. I'm going to say we won't, and everything will probably be fine, but obviously I had to talk about the disclaimers first before we do this, in case anyone is doing this. So do this at your own risk. You're going to be voiding your warranty, as I mentioned before, because of the PCIe slot of the A2000's are going to be drawing more than 75 watt PCIe specification. Alright guys, so again, you're going to be doing this at your own risk, voiding your warranty. You may burn something. Alright, you guys will see all the A2000's here right now. Oh man, that looks cool, doesn't it? Alright guys, all the A2000's are in. I took out the massive strand of PCIe cables, the existing one here, and I plugged in one of the parallel miner cables into the end over here. But I'm still using the 6 of the stock Octominer 18 gauge cable. So I'm using one 16 gauge parallel miner. We'll just see how that behaves. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let me turn this on. And we're going to plug in this power cable into here. And we'll see if there's any smoke. Okay, so the fans are ramping up. I got to hit the power button. Alright, looks like it's on. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on, and then I got to set up the HiveOS overclocks and stuff, so I'll see you guys at the computer. Be right back. Okay, all 12 showed up in HiveOS, and I decided to just get it all started and mining, and it's mining no problem. I had a little bit of an issue with the overclocks for 2 cards. So for some reason I cannot go over 5300 memory on these 2. But then the rest of them I can, go to 5500, and I can get 49 mega hash. So you can see the memory temps are not bad. I mean, 2 of them or 3 of them show 90 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And, degrees Celsius, that is Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And look at this, yeah, it's all mining, they're all finding shares. It's been about 20 minutes now as of recording. It looks like it is mining, no problem. Funny thing, we're almost getting 600 mega hash, but my 3080s that I had and the X12 Ultra, I was getting pretty much 600 mega hash, but I'm getting 586 here. So the power consumption here though is 992 watts, which is utterly amazing. A lot more efficient than my 63080s, non-LHRs. So yeah, this rig I'm thinking it's taking about 1050 watts at the wall, which is quite amazing for, you know, 586 mega hash on these A2000's. So it looks like it's working, guys. It hasn't died yet. I'll probably change out the, like I said, the 18 gauge 6-pin cables to the parallel miner ones. That's if I actually keep these cards in that X12 Ultra. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. It's working pretty good so far. So yeah, I think that's okay. Let's go out and look at the Octominer. Okay, let's take off the lid. The temperatures are probably gonna go back up. Oh, this lid is seriously hefty. All right. Okay. All of its glory. I don't smell anything burned. Nothing smells burned yet. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I think it's working, guys. It doesn't seem to be any issue. I think really the biggest thing is that I know that these 18 gauge cables, they can handle 300 watts, right? And so each of these slots, there's 2 slots per PCIe. So that means, you know, if these are taking about 85 to 90 watts each, that's about 180 watts. And so if these cables, if it can handle up to 300, we're still under the specification 300 watts. But we are drawing more than 75 watts on each of the PCIe slots, which is the stock specification on the slot itself. So at our own discretion, for anyone that's doing this, including myself, there is a risk, right? There is a risk that we could melt the PCIe slot, but we gotta make sure, I mean, since we are using a Octominer server case, that these fans are, oh, it looks like we have a dead fan right here. This fan's not going. Octominer, if you're watching this, I need support. I need customer support. It looks like the rest of them are fine. Yeah, the rest of them are fine. All right, anyways, guys, I think that's it. Let me know your thoughts of everything I talked about in this video. Otherwise, I think this is working no problem. Long term, I'm not sure. Long term, I'm not sure. I guess I could run this for the next week, maybe the next month or so. I can give you guys an update then. I'll keep it the way it is now. Actually, I'll probably, like I said, I do want to change out these cables to the parallel miner 16 gauge cables. That will be much better, more peace of mind, right? Peace of mind. All right, my friends, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one, and peace out.